Helen Flanagan, the well-known actress who became a household name through her long-running role on Coronation Street, has shared a surprising and somewhat amusing revelation from her past in her newly released book titled Head and Heart: Breakups, Breakdowns and Being Rosie. In the book, she opens up about various aspects of her personal life, including her romantic history, and one particular anecdote stands out for its coincidence and light-hearted irony. Helen, now 35 years old, portrayed the character Rosie Webster on the long-running British soap opera, a role that brought her fame and allowed her to connect with audiences over many years. Her on-screen sister in the show was played by Brooke Vincent, who is 33 and took on the part of Sophie Webster, creating a sibling dynamic that fans adored for its authenticity and drama. What makes this revelation particularly entertaining is that both actresses, who shared a fictional sisterly bond on television, ended up having real-life romantic connections to the same individual, a young Manchester City football player named Reece Wabara. According to Helen's account in the book, before she entered into her significant long-term relationship with footballer Scott Sinclair, she had a brief and casual romantic involvement with Reece. It was nothing deeply serious. They went out a few times, but it never evolved into anything substantial or long-lasting. Helen describes how one memorable evening unfolded when Reece took her back to his lodgings after a night out in Manchester. Things took an unexpected turn when his landlady, clearly protective and strict, intervened dramatically. The landlady firmly told Helen, "You're not going upstairs, young lady," and essentially kicked her out of the place. Helen recalls this moment with humor, noting it as dead. A blunt way of saying the night ended abruptly and comically. Helen reflects that Reece was undeniably gorgeous, which likely made him appealing during that period of her life when she was dating casually. However, she quickly adds that their connection fizzled out fast, and she believes he had a reputation as something of a ladies' man anyway, suggesting he wasn't looking for anything committed at the time. Interestingly, after her brief involvement with him ended, Brooke Vincent, Helen's on-screen sibling, stepped into the picture and dated Reece herself. This twist adds a layer of serendipity and amusement to the story, as two women who played sisters on screen unknowingly shared a romantic interest in real life. This light anecdote from Helen's book contrasts sharply with the more serious and challenging chapters of her romantic history, particularly her long-term relationship with Scott Sinclair. Helen and Scott, a professional footballer, were together for 13 years and built a family together. They have 3 children: Matilda, who is now 10 years old, Delilah at 7, and Charlie, the youngest, at 4. Their partnership was often in the public eye, given both their careers and the demands of family life. However, the relationship came to an end in 2022, marking a significant and difficult turning point for Helen. The split was not amicable in every aspect, and recent developments have highlighted ongoing tensions. Reports have surfaced indicating that Scott has made decisions regarding their previously shared home, a substantial 6-bedroom property valued at around £1.5 million. The house is in Scott's name and it was placed on the market last year. Sources close to the situation suggest that communication between Helen and Scott has completely broken down, to the point where they no longer speak directly and instead communicate only through Helen's parents as intermediaries. Scott reportedly wants Helen to relocate to a smaller property, specifically offering to purchase a 4-bedroom home for her and even suggesting it could be placed in her name. His motivation appears tied to reducing or stopping maintenance payments, as he seeks to finalize financial separations following the end of their relationship. Helen, however, has expressed reluctance to move. She values the stability the current home provides. The children are settled in their local school, and her parents live nearby, offering crucial family support. This has led to her digging her heels in, as described by those familiar with the situation. The property's listing price has fluctuated over time. It started at £1.5 million, was reduced to £1.195 million shortly after, and later dropped further to £995,000 in September. Despite these adjustments, a sale has not yet materialized, partly because Scott has not secured an alternative home for Helen and the children that meets everyone's needs. One insider noted that Scott is eager to sell and access the funds, but he hasn't found a suitable replacement residence, leading to accusations that he is not being entirely reasonable. Helen and Scott are clearly not on the same page regarding next steps. Adding to the emotional strain, Helen recently addressed her social media followers directly via her Instagram stories. She shared a video in which she pleaded with people to stop sending her messages about Scott or his personal whereabouts. She explained that she had received numerous direct messages inquiring about the father of my kids, and firmly stated, "Please, I really don't care. No one needs to DM me and tell me his personal business. I'm spared of that now. Her words conveyed a desire for privacy and distance from the ongoing speculation and drama surrounding her ex-partner. This public statement came amid escalating reports of their feud, underscoring how the breakdown continues to affect her emotionally and publicly.